for sure. Well, while we're plugging things, I'm definitely gonna try and get this in later. But just because it's on the top of my mind right now, I just saw the ad. Jonathan DeLeese of Concrete Studios, man. We've had the pleasure of working with him on several projects. Mm-hmm. He's a great dude. And he's actually offering 20% off if you book before September 1st. So I know that's soon, but he's got a few dates open. He's a great guy. If any of you guys are looking to work with a producer.
Yeah, shout out Jonathan.
Jonathan's, yeah, he's a killer, man.
Well, that was fun.
For sure. So let's try again. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. And you know what? There's nothing quite like the refreshing taste of an ice cold Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Dude, I mean?
We're rocking the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we're rocking the.
No, I get it. No, my wife. I don't know why she bought these. I think it was on sale, and she's just like, she's cheap. I'm getting Pepsi. I like Coke. She's like, well, I got Pepsi, so fucking suck it. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, dude. So what's going on with this beta, man? First off, thank you for letting me be a part of it. I'm super excited.
Sure, man. Today was kind of nuts because the response to the beta was more than I thought it would. I thought, okay, so just for anybody who doesn't know, I've been working on a professional networking platform for the music industry. It's been an idea I had for the last few years, but recently we started actually doing the development and taking the big steps to make it happen. So we've got it kind of roughed out, and today it wasn't even really a beta test. It was like a beta of a beta, just kind of like giving a preview, I suppose, just to see if like we're on the right track. Is this, is it something that people actually want? And thankfully the response was pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the music industry is hugely inefficient. Just even the finding, okay, like what you had to do just now to right?
Yeah, that was rough.
It's not that it's rough, it's that it's necessary, because the mechanisms for finding audio engineers, for finding competent talent in the music industry it's archaic. It relies on exactly what you just did, word of mouth. And word of mouth is good and it's extremely useful, but there are many ways in which it fails. And it fails both ways. For example, somebody who, tells you something good about an engineer. Maybe that was just a one-off. Maybe that engineer is usually a bastard, and this was just that one time that they followed through. Or maybe the other side is true. Maybe just for whatever reason, the artist didn't get along with the engineer. It just wasn't the right kind of style, and they had a bad experience. But generally speaking, good engineer, solid track record. So, you can see how word of mouth breaks down. So part of what I was trying to do with Udio is alleviate some of that so that we can start to actually have real data on service providers in the industry. So you can sort of figure out, okay, this person is great, or this person's a fucking bastard and he doesn't deserve a cent. You know, and it's that type of weeding out, because when you have a market where there are no consequences for bad behavior, which is absolutely what happens in the music industry, all of the scam artists go there because there are no consequences for being an asshole. It's like, what? I fuck over some local band? Fuck them. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to break up, reform, and maybe I'm a promoter and maybe I somehow have the money or the relationships to bring in these big touring acts, and what, are these local bands not going to play with fucking Whitechapel? Like, no, they're always going to want to play with Whitechapel. So fuck them. As long as Whitechapel gets paid when they come through, I can fuck over these locals as much as I want. And we have people in my area that are like that. And it's like, there are no negative repercussions other than a couple maybe like angry Facebook posts every once in a while, but that never turns into anything. People still work with this fellow. And I think it would be better if Whitechapel could see, hey, this guy's actually a fucker. Like, he fucks over all the fans in his area. He's an asshole. He does the pay-to-play model aggressively. He doesn't do it just to cover his costs for bringing the tour package, but he actively tries to make money off of it, which is fucked up. And you can start to, again, it's about reputation, and it's about holding people accountable for the services that they provide. I mean, the rest of the fucking business world has that. I mean, you have LinkedIn, which is $1 billion fucking business. Like, if you're an asshole at the companies you work at, there are repercussions on LinkedIn for that type of thing. So it helps to hold people accountable, and it raises the bar of professionalism, which I think is just so fucking needed in the music industry. I mean, I think that's almost without debate.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's kind of like the Uber rating for musicians and audio engineers. Sure,
and it goes both ways, because you have audio engineers, promoters, and managers. They can be bastards, but same thing on the adverse. Some artists are just fucking awful to work with. So it's the same thing. Like, if, let's say you're an artist and you're uploading a project, for example.
Yeah.
If you have a bad rating, the engineers who bid on that project are going to bid higher because they know they're going to have to put up with your bullshit. Or if you have no reputation, the same thing is true, where they're going to bid higher because you're a question mark. Maybe you fucking suck to work with. Maybe you don't know how to print stems. Maybe maybe you're just an asshole. But by using the site and by repeatedly using it, you start to develop that reputation, which then there's perks to that. There's perks to being somebody people like to work with. They'll give you a little bit more leeway. They'll give you a break on pricing because they know you're awesome to work with. They're willing to pay more. Like, if you're an engineer, if you're an awesome engineer and you do great work and you have a ton of positive reviews, a lot of time people will be more willing to pay whatever your price is, even if it's more expensive, because they know almost without a doubt that they're going to have a pleasurable experience.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So it's that kind of stuff. Audio engineers is the first thing we're doing, but the plan is to do everything, because what's starting to happen is artists are starting to realize that record labels are optional.
Yeah.
But there are things that record labels provide that are valuable. One of them is financial backing, but people are going to tools like Patreon and choose your crowdsourcing platform or your crowdfunding platform. But so the funding mechanism, they found something for, but the networking mechanism, which is the other half of what labels provide, there is not yet something like that that's really being used. So that's the hole we're trying to fill. It's the networking aspect. It's okay, if you're going to be independent, that's awesome. That's perfect. 100% do that. More and more people are figuring out how to do that well. But you are still going to need other people to help you where you're weak. Like, the idea that a band is going to be able to DIY every aspect of being a band is a pipe dream. Like, what? You're going to be your own publicist. You're going to be your own blogger, and like, people are going to not think that you're just writing puff pieces about your band. Like,
yeah.
There's all of those things that you can't do on your own that other people are doing that are beneficial to your project. And this is kind of a way to try and connect those people and hold them accountable for what they say they can do.